Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kael. I'm incredibly influential.
And my name's Danny, and I'm highly successful.
Today is Sunday, the 10th of November, 2024, as we're recording this. The whole world is fucked. We're all gonna die. Isn't that super cool?
Um, if I suppose if you think that's cool.
Yeah, so if you aren't already aware, on Tuesday night, we kind of got some bad news as a species. Um, yeah, we're fucked. We are fucked. Well and truly. Um uh 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 our country is filled with a bunch of fascists and then a bunch of apathetic losers who couldn't be bothered to vote out fascism. We could have been done with him. As a species, we could have been completely done with him. He would have never ran again because he would have been like 80, 82 by the time he would have been running again. He wouldn't have been able to, right? The dementia would have got him. But instead, 20 million former Democratic voters stayed home, and all of Trump's former voters came out, and so now we're fucked. Um, yeah. We'd rather have a demented orange retard than a woman. So we're fucked. Uh, Start buying guns, everyone. Everyone, Danny, I've convinced. He's guns. He's full guns now. Danny, tell me about your guns, bro.
I'm not a very big user of guns, but I have one. But that's really all I can say about guns.
I got two right here. I got Smith and Wesson. That was me flexing, by the way.
I figured.
Yeah, that was me flexing. That would have worked better if this was a if this was a fucking visual medium.
Yeah, it
Anywho,
would.
I'm sick. I got sick last Friday. Um, I'm better. Still not completely over it. Snot's a little bit green, but I'm good. Also, if you can hear in the background something sizzling and like vibrating, that's my air fryer. I set a timer before we started recording, and I don't know when it's gonna go off. Um, because I kind of stopped paying attention to it. So at some point in the next 10 to 15 minutes, it's gonna go off, and it's gonna scare the shit out of me. So that's fun. That's my idea of a good time. What about you, Danny? Does that sound like a fun time?
Yeah, that's how I wake up most mornings. Is that I wake up in a very alarmed state. So I guess those alarms are doing what they're supposed to do.
That's true. I have a question for you.
Sure. What's
So,
up?
my town has a bus route, right? Like we have like a pretty robust public transportation system. We've got a whole bunch of buses. They're free for everyone in town.
Hmm.
Um, However, one of them is the Rosa Parks Memorial Bus. Is that offensive? Yes or no?
I don't think so. Why would that be offensive?
Because it's like it's kind of like um if you named uh like the um trying to think of a good analogy here. It's like if you named it the JFK Memorial convertible black vehicle, right? Like come on. Like come on, right? Like like that was her whole thing, right? So we're kind of like pigeonholing her, and it's like it's like if you name the car after John F. Kennedy because that was his whole thing. Rosa
Well,
Parks didn't die on the bus, but
I think that Rosa Parks got more than one thing. I would assume, but like
I
I don't think there's anything wrong with her getting a bus.
not in our town. I think that's the only thing named after her.
Well, maybe your town is the only one that's the problem then.
Maybe, I don't know. Is that what would it be offensive to name like if there was a black convertible or like a presidential motorcade, would it be offensive to name it after John F. Kennedy?
Like the Ford Kennedy or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
To be honest, that's a little bit tougher. I feel like, if the bus isn't a problem, I have to say that the Kennedy thing isn't a problem, just, out of principle here. But I do see how it is a little bit. Hmm. Now you're making me rethink this Rosa Parks thing.
Or like, what if you named a cruise ship after one of the people who died on the Titanic? Is that
uh,
is that more offensive?
I don't know about that last one as much, 'cause I don't like. I feel like, hmm, I don't know. I think that as long as it's a memorial bus and not like just the Ford Kennedy, it doesn't feel like it's like a tribute to him, more it's just like, oh yeah, remember that one president that died?
That's
I
fair.
th- I think that makes the difference really,
All right.
because
What if there was a wheelchair model and it was named after Roosevelt? Like the fucking like introducing the Roosevelt, the most presidential of wheelchairs. Would that be offensive?
again, I feel like it's one of those things that where the bus doesn't seem like a problem because it's just one bus and it's like a memorial thing. You're talking about like making a whole line of things based off of somebody. You see that's where I think that we're the difference is.
All right. What if there was a Boeing airplane model called the Bin Laden? Would that be offensive?
Uh, again, I feel like we're getting into the same things as before. Also, why Bin Laden?
Well, he wasn't on the plane. Well, actually, no, he probably was on a Boeing airplane at some point, but he wasn't on the airplanes but like he was sort of the mastermind behind them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You know what I think of whenever I hear Bin Laden?
What?
I have you watched Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping?
I think once.
There's a song called Bin Laden in that movie, I'm pretty sure. And it's very funny.
There should be a lot of songs called Bin Laden.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I think of whenever I think of Bin Laden.
um,
What a good song.
I mean, it's like it's great for rhyming. Like uh,
Well,
blow
the
you
song
up
doesn't.
like Bin Laden. Uh,
They don't really rhyme in the song though. I
whenever
don't
there's
think
a
you remember
woman,
the
she
song.
be shopping. See, it
That's
rhymes.
that did not rhyme. I
No, it
thought you were gonna
rhymes.
rhyme, but that was not a rhyme. Wild enough.
No, it rhymes.
If by it rhymes, you mean it doesn't rhyme, then yeah, for sure, man.
No, it rhymes. It rhymes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You are terrible at rapping and being cool. But that rhymes. So sucks to be you, I guess. Um,
No, but it's like a Lonely Island song about Bin Laden.
I mean, what's wrong with Bin Laden? Why do you have a problem with
Well,
Bin Laden?
I gotta listen to it again. It's a funny song.
Um, I have another question.
Hmm.
You might think it's offensive. I want to get your opinion here. Um, have you ever seen like commercials for medicines for like HIV? Like when you watch
Probably
Hulu?
I've seen like Not on Hulu. No, I've seen like on regular TV where they advertise for everybody, and it's not like targeted ads. There'll
Yeah,
be like ads for like old people medicine. There'll be ads for this medicine. There'll be ads for that medicine. And it'll always be like something that doesn't really apply to me, but that's got the point is that it applies to somebody. That's
yeah,
why television is bad because the ads aren't
yeah.
catered to
Lowest
me
common
and me
denominator.
alone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's targeted for lowest common denominator instead of everything else. Anywho, have you ever noticed that like in every HIV commercial there's at least one gay guy? Have you ever
Is that
noticed
like
that?
is that like a thing? I feel like I have not noticed that.
In like all the commercials for like PrEP or like any like HIV medication, there's always a gay guy. And there's like this big social stigma about like, HIV isn't a gay disease, like people back in the 80s when the AIDS epidemic first started, people were like, "Oh, it's just a gay disease, you don't have to worry about it, right?" And then it like jumped to straight people, and because straight people weren't like caring, right? Like they weren't like taking care of themselves and protecting themselves because they thought it was a gay disease. It became like this huge problem. But there's still this like stigma about HIV is a fucking gay disease, right?
Hmm.
But if they want to break that stigma, why does every single HIV commercial have a gay dude in it? It feels like a fucking marketing error. You know, maybe I'm not president of the gays, right? I'm not president of all gay dudes. That's James Charles, right? He's the president of all gay people. They voted. He's the gay president, right?
That's the
But
election that I must have missed.
yeah, I'm sure you did miss it, gay wad. Gay. but
Wow.
anywho, but
God.
anywho, I mean, you walked into it. You did. All you had to do was not say anything, and you said the worst possible thing. But
I don't know.
anywho,
You didn't have to do all that, but whatever, I guess.
if I was gay person president, I simply wouldn't do that. You know, like if you're trying to defeat the stigma that HIV is a gay disease, stop putting gay people in every single HIV medicine commercial. Every single one. If you want, oh my god, it's so stupid. It's so stupid, right? It's like, what's another negative stereotype, or what's another racial stereotype, or not like racial, but like about a group, right? All right? How about this, right? It's like how if
Well, like, how do we feel about stereotypes that are inherently, like, quote unquote, like, positive?
I mean those are still bad because it's like I don't know, they're still bad. It's hard to explain why they're bad, but they're bad. Um,
That's what I've heard as well, but, like, they don't feel
because
as
it's
bad.
like if you say, for example, all Asians are good at math, right? Or they're all like super smart. Um, it can be used to justify that, like, oh, they don't need any help, right? Like they're fine, because they're all so smart, right? Like, they're all doing okay. Um, all right, my timer's going off. I have to flip over my meal. You have about 30 seconds to say whatever you want. Um, go nuts. Here you
Well,
go.
this is not a good transition point for me, but, I suppose. All right. All right. So we're talking about stereotypes right now. Um, damn. Let me think about this. What's a stereotype about a white man with glasses and curly hair that is currently cooking a pork chop? You know what? I'm not as good at this. You should give me a better topic. Anyways, so let me talk about my app. I recently made an app for my class where I am taking data and I'm manipulating it, using a whole bunch of different methods. But pretty much, you will be prompted on a screen.
Boring.
Now,
All
this is
right.
great. This is wonderful app stuff that we're talking about right now.
Anywho, what were we talking about?
We were talking
All
about
right.
stereotypes, but like the
Yeah.
app stuff, we should really get back into that because that was top tier.
Yeah. So anywho, um, it's like how like if you wanted to um break the stereotype that black people like fried chicken, right? You wouldn't make a fried chicken commercial where the only people who show up are black, right? Like you wouldn't make a KFC commercial where they're like only black people, right?
I
If you
feel
want to
like,
if you want
you
to break the
know,
stereotype.
I don't know. I just feel like as somebody who doesn't really think about these things too much, I feel like it the intention behind it matters a little bit because let's say you are, making this commercial in a place with a lot of black people, and let's say they're just better actors in this particular commercial. You know what I mean? If I just choose the objectively best actors, is that in my worst interest because I'm promoting a stereotype that I'm not even trying to promote?
All right,
You,
what
you see
about
what I
this?
mean?
All right, what about this, right? What about this, right? Because like if you think about it, right? Like being gay is a scripted part of that commercial, right? Whereas like a black actor, they're black. Like you
You
can
know,
visibly see it.
you make a good point, right? Because they could just be gay and act and not really.
Yeah. And they're making it like
Hmm.
explicit that they are gay, right? In the script of the commercial, right? Like they're drawing attention to the fact that they're gay. Like they're showing a boyfriend and his boyfriend laying down in bed together talking about if you take this medicine, you won't be able to spread AIDS to other people. And it's like, bro, that's kind of fucked up. We just went through to like, 20 years uh fucking trying to break the stereotype, and then these commercials start in the like 2000s when they start coming up with these things like 2010s 2000s 2010s, and they're coming up with these medicines that like stop the spread of AIDS, and who do they hire but gay people? And it's like, all right, 30 25 30 35 years of work to break the stereotype, and it's down the shitter, you know like what was the point of all that if all we're gonna do is market this drug to gay people? But whatever, what do I know? I'm like I said, I'm not president of the gays, but if I was, that would be something that I did. I would fix that.
You
I would
fix
I,
that.
yeah, I would, because it's a
Mhm.
fucking it's dumb to be like uh to reinforce that negative stereotype, you know even if it is true, that's probably not something that you should fucking draw attention to by doing this, and I'm not the only person who noticed it. um
Well, if it is true though, I feel like it's in the best interest of the people advertising it to advertise it to the people who they would, be selling it to the most, right? Like if the stats are true that, gay people are still the people that need this type of treatment or medicine the most, then would that still make it bad?
I mean
Because at that point it wouldn't be like malicious intent, you know what I mean?
all right, but think about it, right? Like if it was something that like only affected gay people, or like like you know what I mean, right? If it was something that only affected gay people, then I understand, right?
Well, I'm not saying that it only affects gay people, but I'm saying like in the commercial, if there is like a variety of representation and there just happens to be gay people, I don't think that's bad. If it's only gay people, that's a little different.
I mean, all right, but then think about it like this: what, like, who are the people? Like, if the fried chicken stereotype is true, do you need a black person in every single fried chicken commercial? Even if even if they are the ones buying the most fried chicken, which I don't think is true. I don't think it is true. But if it were, even if it was, why would you, like if you want to break that stereotype, or if you don't want to play into that stereotype, I guess, like, all right, if you think about it like this,
Well, I think that it's different to make a commercial about a medication versus a commercial about like something like chicken. Just because with a chicken commercial, I think you just want to sell chicken, whereas with a medicine commercial, you want to provide medicine to the people that need it, and you want to advertise it to the people that need it. It's a lot less universal than chicken, you know what I mean, right? And
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
I
sure, like,
guess.
if a black person sees a commercial without a black person eating chicken in it, they're not gonna go, man, I don't feel represented here. You know what I mean?
But like,
Whereas I feel like maybe there's some people where that type of marketing, like with a gay person in medicine, that would help them kind of be like, you know what, you know, that's something that maybe I should think about. You know what I mean? If I ever do need to have this medicine, because that's the whole point of a lot of those commercials is that it's like you might not need it now, but it's supposed to kind of like make that connection for like whenever you do need it, type of thing,
I mean, I guess.
right? And maybe that'll kind of make a better like mental connection for them if they ever need it. They're like, oh yeah, I need this medicine. I remember this one commercial with this one gay couple, and you know what I mean, and that just connects. I
I'd
I I feel like with medicine it's a little different. And also, again, if it's represented by multiple different types of people and not just gay people, I don't think it's a problem if gay people are one of the people that are affected by it. Like especially if they're like more affected by it than like the average person, you know?
so I am going to not look up the stats just because I don't think they matter to this argument. I I think that, like, because it is a thing that affects people who aren't gay, and like, even if it is more prevalent, which it might be, you know, I'm sure that sometimes the odds are a little bit more, or like the research is a little bit more like biased, maybe. But like, as far as, oh shit, like, oh fuck, sorry, um, it's still like a harmful stereotype about gay people, where people are like, you know, like, for example, right? There's this big Vine guy back in the day, and he got canceled for saying something, you know, I would say it's pretty offensive, right? And like, he was trying to make a joke, and I don't think it was that much of a joke. All, like, what he said was, like, there was this AIDS commercial, and it says testing for HIV, it's not a straight thing, it's not a gay thing, and then he cuts in and he says, yes it is, and then he calls him just a slur, right? And that's the joke. That's the quote unquote joke, right? So it's like, is that really, like, like it's a bad stereotype. People are looking at gay people, gay men specifically, and they're like, you know, ew, gross. They have HIV, AIDS, or whatever. And Statistically speaking, like even if that were fucking true, you can't paint all people with that brush. Stereotyping anyone based on anything is bad, and so therefore, I think HIV commercials should stop leaning into the gay thing, even if it were true, which it might be or might not be, that gay men are more susceptible to it. I think we shouldn't be leaning into that. I think it should be, you know, a straight person, because if you look at it, in Africa right now, there's a big AIDS problem that comes from straight men, usually truckers or like people traveling. They get prostitutes who have it, and then uh, cheat on their wives with the prostitutes, get AIDS, and then bring it back to their wives. And so that's like a big problem. That's where like a lot of HIV is spreading, and that doesn't involve gay people at all. So it's like, straight people are getting it. So pigeonholing it into gay people, like if you are, so like in a commercial, right, in a random commercial, nothing to do with HIV, you know you look at people, right, and you're like, hey, or like you get one person, right, like it's focused on one person. So maybe it's like a window treatment thing, or like focusing on like a different kind of medication, right, one that doesn't have that much baggage, right? So like maybe like a fucking Claritin commercial. What are the odds that the person they're focusing on is going to be gay in it, right? It's probably pretty low. And that's probably not good, right? Because, gay people aren't like the majority of people, but, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of gay dudes. What are the odds that a Claritin commercial is going to be about a gay dude rather than any other person, right? However, when you look at an HIV commercial, if it's just one person, the odds of it being uh, a gay man or a trans woman is like super duper fucking high. And I don't know. Maybe I just feel bad that like the only times where gay men are getting a lot of representation, disproportional representation, is for a disease that is stereotyped that they're supposed to be like that they're supposed to have. You know, I Gay people should have more representation and maybe less representation in that if we want everyone to like test for it and not just gay people. You know?
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things where, to me, I think it's all about intention. And, you know, if the stats support something, it's not a stereotype, it's just a fact. That's how it is, you know what I mean? If
I
it was a
mean,
stereotype in the past, but it's always true or it's mostly true, then that's just a fact, you know what I mean? It's just a true thing at that point.
well,
And even
stereotypes
if
can be
it's
true, but like it's
y-
still a stereotype if you immediately assume all members of a group have X, right?
no, I'm not saying all members, but if it's like a majority of that, people, then it's still, I feel like, something that's true enough that you can include them in a type of commercial like that. You know what I mean, right?
Well, it's definitely not true that a majority of gay people have AIDS. Like
I'm
that's if
not
the majority of gay people
not
have
a
HIV or
majority.
AIDS.
I'm just saying like a majority of people that have AIDS, or not even that, but just a large group of people that have AIDS are gay. Or gays are more susceptible to it. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't think it's as bad.
I mean, I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from because
And
there's
it's
like,
also, again, it's about intentions. I feel like if the intention is just to target the people that might need it the most, or people that are affected by it the most, versus whether they just did it because of a stereotype, is also important. But obviously there's no way we can know that really just from the commercial.
I guess that's true, and I guess there is like some, if you look at it, like I can kind of see where you're coming from because there are some diseases that black people are more susceptible to. And I guess like if you were to uh like do commercials sort of focusing on that. Like I forget what they are off the top of my head. That was my timer for my pork tenderloin, so my brain just
Oh
kind of
my
shut off there for a second.
god. It's always
It's
pork tenderloins with you.
shut up. Um, but like I guess if there was like a disease that like black people were more susceptible to, but white people could still get, or like people of other races could still get, it would make sense if there was like more likelihood of a black person being in the commercial. I don't know. I guess you're probably right when it comes down to intentions, but like
I
if it
think
is,
people are too just quick to assume that something has bad intentions without really thinking about it all the way. And I think that before we start accusing people and getting mad about everything, we probably should get a little bit more information about it.
I'm not mad
Obvious,
about it. I'm just saying like if it is true, um, it still does kind of hard like perpetuate the stereotype. Even if it is true, even if it is saving lives, a side effect of that is that people have that stereotype, and people like have that in their brains when they're like, fucking guy has HIV, he must be gay, or guy is gay, he must have HIV. People still have that in their brains, and so it's like it's good if that is true. If that is true, then it is good, but and like good intentions as well. But like at the end of the day, is it like causing harm as a side effect? I don't know. So I don't know. It's up to smarter people than me. And again, I'm not president of the gay club. Again, James Charles is. There was an election. I did not run. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure smarter people than me will figure that out if they can find them. Boom, zinger, got him. Um,
Bumsinger got him.
boom, zinger, got him. Isn't that crazy? Um,
It's wild, really.
yeah. I want to go back to the fact that we're fucked as a country, that we're fucked.
I really don't want to go back to that. Actually, can we? Can we not?
No, I feel like we have to talk about it just
I'm
because
not
it's so
really a
important.
big fan of talking about politics, mostly because I feel like it's a very nuanced issue, and people really just care about the surface level problems. I think, you know, this is obviously not the ideal outcome, but to be somebody who instantly just jumps on the bandwagon of just hate and just, uh, assuming that we're all going to like die or something seems a little pessimistic.
See,
I I really just I feel like right now it's one of those things where I'd rather just kind of wait and see what does happen instead of just assuming it's going to be bad type of thing. Like obviously not the ideal choice. Obviously he's done a lot of bad things in the past. People don't like him as a person. But a lot of things that he said I keep saying obviously. Obviously this is a oh my god, there's a problem. And it's an issue.
uh-huh.
So a lot of the things that he said during his campaign convinced a lot of people that to vote for him because he said he was going to do something, right? So now it's just a matter of time to see if he will do those things, right? Because that's what really matters is that will he do the things that he said that he'll do, and will he do them good? Will he do them well? I think that a lot
Now,
of time during presidential elections, the presidents are a little uh, overly optimistic on what they can do. So it's remained to be seen.
now let's look at it this way though. There is nothing that can stop him. Like actually nothing. Legally speaking, nothing can stop him. He has full control of Congress, or he will have full control of Congress. He will have full control of the Supreme Court. He will have uh, full legal immunity coming from the Supreme Court. They said that whatever he does, he cannot face criminal charges as long as it's an official act as president, which means he can do whatever the fuck he wants. There is no safeguard. He can do whatever he wants. He said he's going to do whatever he wants. He said he's going to be a dictator on day one. So I don't think we're going to live that long as a country. I think the fact that the majority of the voting public uh, chose this means that our country is in fact too broken to continue. I I for one fully endorse a civil war. I am hoping it comes to that. I think that we need to become we need to either take down the people who want this or we need to separate and uh, and set up a separate country for the people who actually know what's going on and are competent. So I don't know what needs to happen, but you know, Minnesota, Illinois, uh, the Northeast coast, you know, so like everything on the East Coast except for everything south of Virginia uh, and Pennsylvania need to disconnect, form their own country. Um, the West Coast needs to either join with us or become their own separate thing, right? And then we just have to let the red states suffer and choke and die because the vast majority of red states are not net gains; they are net losses. And the vast majority of people in those places who are net gains voted fucking blue. So the vast majority of people in red states are either uh, poor slash uneducated or middle class with delusions of grandeur, and they can't run a country by themselves. So I think we need to separate and let them all suffer because you know Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, uh, fucking Arkansas, Kentucky, West Virginia, all these states are parasites on the good states. So I say we get rid of them. I say we let them split off and form their own country because they don't they frankly don't deserve our resources. They don't deserve the Californias, the Illinois, the New Yorks, the Minnesotas. They don't deserve that. We've been carrying them for far too long, and I don't think they deserve to be carried. So I think either we discipline them and we remind them, hey, you know, this is America, not a fucking fascist dictatorship, or we let them have their stupid fascist dictatorship and we let them fucking collapse. But either way, that's going to break America's power in the world. And that's sort of the only thing holding the world together. And so if America loses, then that means that Russia and or China will be the dominant forces and there won't be anything to stop them. So either get used to speaking Russian or get used to speaking Chinese. I would learn Russian because Trump likes Putin more than he likes Xi Jinping, Winnie the Pooh. So I would get to learning Russian. But that's you know that's just me. But
I
I've
feel like there's always more that I can like learn on the topic. Uh I've listened to some people talk about all the different things that Trump wants to do and like world issues and all that, right? And Trump does seem to be the type of person to not understand the value of like pleasing people, especially foreign people. As you know, a president, you know, you need to be in good relations with other countries. It seems like he really doesn't care though, which might lead to a lot of
he
problems.
doesn't have to.
I feel like America, might see this as like a temporary win, sure, but like a lot of times I don't think Trump fully thinks out like what the long-term like ramification of those actions are. That's kind of, I think, a trend with Trump, is that he'll do something not really thinking it through all the way. And we'll have to see where that gets him, where that gets us. It is sad that, we're gonna have to go down with him if he goes down, type of thing. But
He's already gone down. He's going down on Putin every single fucking day. He's a puppet. He's a puppet. Russia has installed or will install, because fucking Biden and Harris refuse to get up off their ass and do something about it. SCOTUS just said, "Hey, you're fully legally immune to whatever the fuck you want to do." Fucking, they could fix this. They could fix this in a second. You know, would it be democratic? No, not really. But honestly, the will of the people doesn't fucking matter. Does not fucking matter if they're wrong. And quite frankly, I think we fucked up by getting rid of fucking literacy tests before voting. Personally, I think if the vast majority of people don't know shit about our government, probably couldn't pass a fucking the U.S. citizenship test. If they couldn't pass that, if they couldn't tell us, who runs the judicial branch, how many houses of Congress are there, how many members of Congress are there, how many electoral votes are there, what even is the electoral college? If most people don't even know how that works, if most people didn't even know that Biden fucking dropped out, then they shouldn't be able to vote, personally. But that's where we're at in this country. We let the fucking stupid people, the fucking poor, uneducated people who didn't fucking graduate high school, who can't read, who don't know their ass from their fucking elbow, we let them make our decisions for us. We let a bunch of people from fucking 7 states run our entire fucking country, and I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. Whatever. We'll be back in a minute. I gotta take my pork tenderloin out. This podcast is sponsored by Amanda Redwine, your no-nonsense talk therapist and parent coach. Serving individuals and couples in both Illinois and Florida for counseling/therapy, as well as worldwide for parent coaching. Amanda's specialty is working with teens and young adults, as well as their family systems. Amanda has extensive experience working with youth who identify on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. She has also done couples work based on a foundation of the Gottman method. She brings a light, no-nonsense approach to treatment that is approachable and empathetic. She is unflappable and makes her clients comfortable from the very beginning. Find out more at www.amandaredwine.com. That's AmandaRedwine.com. Thank you again for sponsoring this episode, and back to the show. All right, we're back, bitches. I got my pork tenderloin. Oh my god, it looks amazing. You guys, oh my god. I'm not gonna take a photo because I'm hungry and I already cut it. But oh my god, you guys missed out. Man, don't you wish you guys had a pork tenderloin? I do. Oh wait, I have one. It sucks to suck. Danny, I need you to tell me a joke. How about that? You got any jokes?
I feel like a lot of like my opportunities to be funny are situational.
Mm-hmm.
Jokes are a little bit tougher. I gotta work on my off the brim jokes, right? But I'm sure, like, if the situation comes up and I'm able to just like react, it'll be a good joke. Don't worry.
I just I just remembered. Oh
Just
my
like that,
god.
guys. Write that down.
I just remembered your favorite joke. Your favorite joke that I told you. Do you remember?
Is it that I think I know exactly which one you're talking about, actually.
Oh my god, it's been a couple months since I told you.
That it has. That it has.
You'll remember it, I'm sure. If I started
Um,
telling it, you'd remember. So it
I'm
wouldn't be
sure.
as funny.
I'm sure I do remember it.
You know what? I'll tell it again for the sake of the audience, in case we got some new listeners.
In case.
In case. So there's a man. He works at a zoo. One might even call him a zookeeper, perhaps, if you were feeling particularly daring. Um,
Do we still call people zookeepers? Is that like a thing?
I mean, what else would we call them?
I don't know. Uh, what do zookeepers do? Are they the security? Are they
No,
the owner?
they work with the animals.
I don't know. Zookeeper just seems like too much for what they do. You know what I mean? Zookeeper, I
I
feel like
know a
is the
girl who was a zookeeper.
I don't know. The name zookeeper just feels like it has like a lot of power behind it. And I just don't. I don't know. I don't really think that it fits. You know?
I mean, you know what? It's. I think it's the keeper part, right? Because
Yeah.
that exudes a lot of force that perhaps they don't quite have. But I
Exactly.
see where you're coming
Right.
from.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, is it the owner? The owner, I would be like, okay, I kind of see it a little bit, but
Yeah. Um. Anywho, zoo. There's a zookeeper, right? And he works in the monkey house. One might say he works with the monkeys.
that's a little
Um.
presumptuous, don't you think?
I mean, depends. You'd have to ask him. Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. But the zookeeper works with the monkeys. He's working with a chimpanzee, and they do an experiment on this chimpanzee. They're like, well, we want to test this drug on this monkey, and you have him in a zoo. He's used to working with humans. He should be a good candidate. So they take him, and they do an experiment on him, and they make him super duper smart, like billion IQ, like can do differential calculus and shit like that, right? And then one day, the monkey's like, "Fuck this! I don't want to be in a cage anymore." He takes some drugs, gives them to all the monkeys, right? And the monkeys escape, and they begin a war against the humans. And it turns, it's bloody, it's terrifying, and eventually, it becomes a nuclear war. And you know the
How do the monkeys
monkeys,
get their hands on nukes? There's so many
they
plot holes here.
you'd have to ask them. But then the zookeeper survives, but because of the nukes, he's got like a bunch of radiation tumors all throughout his body. He's on his deathbed, he's like he's dying, right? But he wants to see his friend one more time, so he crawls to the throne of the Monkey King, and he's like barely makes it inside.
I
He's
don't know.
he's
I never imagined they would have like a monarchy, but I don't know, man. These monkeys.
he keeps moving, crawling along the floor of the throne room, and the Monkey King recognizes the zookeeper, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's my boy, it's my friend." And he comes down from his throne. He holds the zookeeper in his arms, and he doesn't have long now. He's only got you know one last few, like one last statement. He whispers out to the monkey. He looks at him. He says, "Hey, quit monkeying around."
You really got him. You really got him.
How long did it take you to remember the punchline?
I remembered it instantly.
uh, aren't you glad you sat through it then? Aren't you glad you sat through it to hear it one more time?
Yeah, I really just wanted to gather up more context. That's why we're asking questions here. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
guys, ask
Mm-hmm.
questions. They say no question's a bad question. There are bad questions, but most of them are all right.
What's a bad question?
Oof. I feel like it's a question that you could probably figure out yourself, um, pretty easily, but you just choose not to. You know what I mean?
I meant for an example, dummy.
Mm. Like if you're outside and you're like, man, is it sunny today? And you see and you're like, wow, you could have figured that one out yourself. Just look up, silly. Got him. Got him.
Are you drunk?
No, but I am coming up with really bad examples right now. I don't know what that is about.
You
I'm
definitely
just I'm
seem
just
to
really
be
thinking
struggling.
I'm really thinking about this app, you know what I mean? I was that's what I was really wanted to talk about, but you cut me off during my little segment.
The only app I want to think about is appetizers, except it's kind of too late because I'm already eating dinner. You know, the appetizers portion has kind of already sailed. That
I
ship
watched a
is.
movie um before I went to sleep.
What was it?
It was an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um I thought it was an alright movie. I liked it.
What was
Good
it called?
movie. Oh, you wanted me to like tell you the name of it?
That's typically what that means when I say what was it. Yes.
Oh, why didn't you just say so? Weird and cryptic. You gotta work on that. Anyways, it's a Ryan Gosling movie.
God fucking damn it! Of course it is. Jesus, why don't you just marry him? Good lord.
And it was based off of a Nicholas Sparks novel.
Oh my god. Why do you keep watching my movies, dude? Give it a rest, man. What is it with you and Ryan's? If it's not me, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Okay,
Jesus.
well, Ryan Reynolds also pretty cool. I never watched If, but I never really heard any buzz about it, so I'm assuming it was just all right.
I don't understand. Why does Netflix even make these movies anymore? Who watches them?
I don't think it was a Netflix movie.
It felt like one, okay? It felt like Red Notice. Who remembers Red Notice? Do you remember Red Notice?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the sequel to come out.
Exactly. Nobody important remembers Red Notice.
You literally asked me, and then I answered your question, and then you said exactly. What are you talking about?
I said nobody important remembers Red Notice. You remember it, but
Yeah, there was a couple of good scenes in that movie.
nobody nobody important remembers it. The Rock
Yeah,
doesn't remember it. Ryan Reynolds doesn't remember it.
they're filming a sequel though.
No, I don't think that's true.
I'm
I don't
pretty.
think they would do that. I don't think they would do that.
I think they are.
Why would they make a sequel to a movie that doesn't exist? You know?
I
That'd
like
be
that
like
part
making
where Ryan Reynolds is on the screen. That was a pretty good part.
Ryan Reynolds would never be in a movie. That's insane. What are you talking about? Why would Ryan Reynolds take a break from Mint Mobile, owning Wrexham, uh that other thing he does, the gin, the
I
other
think
thing other than that?
think he sold Mint Mobile.
No, he's still in the commercials, I think.
You see, I know his
Mhm.
his whole business model is that he buys a company, does tons of advertising for it, gets really popular, and then he sells it for lots of money.
That sounds
Which
about right.
good for him. You know what I mean? He found the formula.
He
All you
did.
gotta
Mr.
do,
Krabs is going to be furious.
all you gotta do is be Ryan Reynolds, and then you're kind of sold after that point.
Would it work if I was Ryan Gosling instead?
Mm, he does have a lot of charm. I feel like Ryan Gosling probably could pull off a similar strategy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but the Notebook was pretty cool. I liked it. Good
I hate
movie.
that movie. It's a terrible movie.
What part did you not like?
Being in it,
Yeah, but like besides that part, like is there another part you don't like?
yeah. I have the time codes, right? It's from 00000 to the last frame of the end credits.
Yeah, but usually when somebody says they don't like a movie, they usually give like a reason.
It's bad.
Okay, but a little bit more objective than that, tiny bit.
Nicholas Sparks is a dumbass.
Okay, well, like I don't really know.
I,
That's,
you know, it's like my good friend Obi-Wan Kenobi says.
I
Who is
don't
more
think y'all are
foolish?
friend,
I'm Ryan Gosling. I'm friends with fucking everybody, okay? Do you have a problem? Are we gonna have a problem?
but I'm just Ken.
You know? Like, I was this close to letting you meet Ana de Armas, you know? I was this close, but you're
I,
getting on my nerves, you know?
you know her?
We were in Blade Runner 2049 together, idiot. Do you not
I'll
remember
tell
that?
you what. I need to run to the restroom real quick. So you keep the audience entertained with Ryan Gosling facts or something.
Okay. Um, I really like Doctor Who. Oh my god. I love Doctor Who. So in the Barbie movie, which I was in, Nshuti Gatwa was also in it. And I love Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who so much. Um, I like the 11th Doctor a lot. He's really cool. Um, they should let me be on it. They should let me be the next Doctor. Honestly, you know, I'm Ryan fucking Gosling. Imagine how many people would be watching that show if I was the Doctor, right? They should let me be Doctor Who. Um, yeah, yeah. They should let me be Doctor Who. They should also let me be um the new Iron Man. That would be cool. Um, I think that would be uh a good a good casting choice because I'm Ryan Gosling. You know, I'm the most charismatic man in Hollywood. Um, even though Robert Downey Jr. stole my Oscar, you know, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't even fucking care. I don't even fucking care. I also don't think he was the one who stole it. I don't remember. I was barely even there. I barely paid attention. I'm Ryan Gosling. I got more important things to do than care about the Oscars, bro. You think I give a shit about the Oscars? Think I give a damn about a Grammy? Half of you critics can't even stomach me, let alone stand me. But Ryan, what if you win? Wouldn't it be weird? Why? So you guys can just lie to get me here? So you can sit me here next to Britney Spears? Shit, Katrina Aguilera better switch me chairs so I can sit next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst. Hear them argue over who she gave head to first. Little bitch put me on blast on MTV. Yeah, he's cute, but I think he's married to Kim. I should download an audio and MP3 and show the whole world how you gave Ryan Gosling VD. I really hope Danny comes back soon. I'm dying here. I'm dying here. You know, Ryan Gosling. You know, I'm the best actor in Hollywood by far. But I need I can't just do a one man show forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Danny better get fucking back soon. How long does it take a man to piss? It should take 21 seconds. You know, get in there, drop trowel, get the cock out for 21 seconds, right? Anything longer than that, you end it, right? You're done. You save it for later. Then you wash your hands and then you're back. That should take like a fucking a minute at most. You should spend more time washing your hands than you should fucking peeing.
Wow, this guy's still talking. Am I right, guys?
Well, yeah, I'm Ryan Gosling.
Am
Why,
I right, guys? This guy's still talking. Am I right, guys?
I'm literally Ryan Gosling. People
Hands up if you can't believe this guy is still talking. Am I right, guys?
people will spend $8 to go to the movie theater just to see me. You know, I'm Ryan fucking Gosling. Who are you?
$8? I spent way more at the movie theater because I like those nice cushy seats. Oof, nice.
Do you want to do big red button?
I don't know. Like, I'm a little full right now.
Ooh, I have a good one. I have a good one. I have a good one. Are you ready?
I'm not sure if I'm ready, but sure, I guess.
Um, you like those shitty romance shows, right?
Uh, it depends if they're good or not, because some of them are just like a little overdone.
Yeah, if they're good, you don't like them. That's why
Mm,
you like Bridgerton.
Let me find.
Anywho, anywho, your favorite romantic pairing in any show will get together, but one will cheat on the other.
Um,
Do you press the button?
so a romantic pairing in a show?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't care enough.
All right. How about in a movie?
I still don't care enough.
I don't know if I would press it. So it would be for me. It would be House and Wilson. They would finally admit their gay love for each other. Um, and then uh, I don't know who would cheat on. I think Wilson would cheat on House. Honestly.
I I I asked ChatGPT for a question because I felt like I should contribute to this.
Uh huh.
And ChatGPT gave me this question.
I don't think you contributed then.
Yes, I contributed because I typed in the prompt for ChatGPT.
I mean, try doing that for one of your professors when they catch you writing an essay with ChatGPT. See how that works out. But
No. I don't let ChatGPT write the essay. I let ChatGPT give me advice on how to write the essay.
mm-hmm.
Totally different. Okay. Anyways, but because it says a short prompt here, I thought ChatGPT could do all the work as long as I give him like a direction, right? Or her direction. I don't know how ChatGPT identifies. Anyways, besides the point. ChatGPT has this question for us, all right? Would you press this button? If pressing the button means you'll become best friends with Ryan Gosling, but no one will ever believe you, not even your closest friends, family, or even Ryan Gosling himself.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I wouldn't even know that I was my own best friend. That's crazy.
Like, you would know that you're best friends with Ryan Gosling, you know what I mean? But, like, Ryan Gosling wouldn't know that he's best friends with Ryan Gosling, I guess, if you're Ryan Gosling.
So then I wouldn't know that I was my own best friend.
Oof, yeah, that's tough. Like, in a way you would, but in a way you wouldn't. You
Um.
know, I'd be down to have Ryan Gosling as a secret best friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to flaunt my best friend around. You know what I mean?
Is
I
that
could.
not already the dynamic we have?
Um, I guess I don't really flaunt you around, but like, you don't really come up a lot.
No, like no, it's the opposite where nobody believes you that you're my best friend, including me. But you know, yeah, I don't know.
I
Is
I
that
see.
not the dynamic we already have? I feel like it is. No change. You know.
Yeah, see, I don't believe it sometimes too. It's wild how that works.
Um.
It's like one of those things that's unspoken. Is that kind of like just how being best friends work? You know?
No, but I think that's our dynamic. But yeah, I don't really invite you to any of the parties that I go to, or hang out with you in public or even acknowledge you in any interviews. Yeah, I think that's already how it works. No change, to be honest.
Yeah, I get it because you're Ryan Gosling.
And
All
then
right. Well,
I kind of am the same way about myself. If you asked Ryan Gosling who his best friend was, I don't think I would say Ryan Gosling. You know what I mean? So,
yes,
to be
but
honest,
I would
yeah.
push the second button for this one. I would not push the first button for your one. I think that this is great. I'm glad that we get ChatGPT as a regular member of the push the button segments now.
I mean, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this change going forward.
What do you mean? ChatGPT is giving us two decently good questions. As long as I give him good prompts,
What
he can
was
give
the last one that GPT suggested?
the Halloween one. Remember where you can ask favors for well, you can ask questions of
Oh,
ghosts for favors.
okay. All right, that's fair. 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 Um, they should have uh a chat GPT, but it answers in the way that Ryan Gosling would.
You see,
Um,
I just don't know if ChatGPT would have enough information on Ryan Gosling, right? I can ask it to give us a question in the form of like a Shakespearean question. I can ask ChatGPT a lot of things. I just don't know if it has enough information on Ryan Gosling
ask
specifically.
ask chat GPT to give us uh, a Ryan Gosling themed joke.
Oh my god. Okay, I can ask that real quick.
Let's hear the best thing it can come up with. Let's see. Let's see if Ryan Gosling can beat Ryan Gosling, the robot
I,
version. What do you think?
um, no, see, it didn't really give me a Ryan Gosling themed joke though. I see. That's what I'm saying. I don't really think it knows enough about Ryan Gosling
Who doesn't know about Ryan Gosling?
because it just kind of made it. It just gave me a joke and then just inserted Ryan Gosling's name into the prompt versus making it about Ryan Gosling. You see what I mean?
Um. All right, hang on. I've got a good prompt. Um. That's dumb. Fuck you, ChatGPT. We're firing ChatGPT. No more.
I don't think ChatGPT knows a lot about Ryan Gosling. I just
If
don't.
it doesn't know enough about me, then there's no reason to keep it on.
It needs more data.
If you didn't know anything about me, I wouldn't hire you to be on this show.
Well, like, how am I supposed to get to know you if I don't get hired on? You see, it's like a paradoxical thing where I
But
need
you're
to
my
know
best
more.
friend who I don't acknowledge.
This is a tough situation we find ourselves in.
Isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what
It
we
is.
do.
It is.
I think we just do the outro and then we leave you guys to think about it.
Yeah, you tell us.
Okay. We want to thank Justin and Connor for supporting the Ryan Gosling and Highly Successful podcast.
For sure, for
Um
sure.
Oh my god. If yeah, that would be really funny if one episode we just changed the entire branding for 1 week and then we just went back like nothing happened. Um but yeah, anywho, thank you, Justin Connor, for keeping the Ryan Gosling and Highly Successful podcast lights on. We really appreciate it, especially me, Ryan Gosling.
Hmm.
Um, it's really great. I really appreciate it. You'd think all these movies, would really, keep the lights on, but we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Um, if you want a cool shout out like that, you can head over to the Patreon page, which is for some reason the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. We're IIHS podcast, not RGHS for some reason. I don't know, but we're on Patreon. We're patreon.com/IIHS podcast. Join our $3 tier. You can hear up to the ad break early as soon as it's done being edited. Um, uh, But if you join our $5 tier, you get the whole episode early, ad free, all of our movie commentaries, uh, Die Hard, original Indiana Jones trilogy. Uh, we did The Rock with Scott Henson, rest in peace. Um, we did the original Transformers, but that one's free. But Transformers 2, we're going to be doing that one soon, and that one will be paid. So fucking look out for that, I guess. Yeah. Anywho, we are also IIHS Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and Threads. We're not on Twitter. Fuck Twitter. Fuck Elon Musk. Specifically, fuck Elon Musk for fucking our democracy. Yeah. What a piece of shit. I hope he fucking chokes on his own dick. I don't know how he's gonna get it up there though. It's so small he can't even see it.
Mhm.
But yeah. If you want to support our show on social media, we need you to post that Elon Musk has a small dick. So post that out there on any social media, Twitter included. But yeah, any social media or just in public, just say Elon Musk has a small dick. Spread the message, and yeah, we really appreciate it. Um, yeah. Other than that, I'm Ryan Gosling. I've been incredibly influential,
I'm Danny Eden. I've been highly successful.
and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.